rural dimension at Chipping Campden School was always an element of its curriculum. We managed to get some land, a very old orchard, ridge and furrow orchard, with very old apple and pear types.
The school has improved in many ways because of the rural dimension. It's given students the opportunity to learn outside of the classroom, so the doing rather than just the reading has enabled children to transfer those skills into the classroom environment. The rural dimension helps because whatever academic ability the student is, they can work in a different environment. So if, for example, somebody was studying science at level 3, instead of just looking on a website, they can actually go outside and take on board the real life impact of science in the day-to-day living. And that's what's important about the rural dimension.
The small one, which is clear, and it's a phantom midge larva. So have you recorded that?
The North School has just made me really feel like I can actually go out and achieve something.
The animals are either born here or we buy them, and then we raise the animals up, and then when they're about 2, maybe 18 months old, we send the animals off to slaughter, and then we sell the meat to make more money for the farm.
Lovely.
We go to different shows, and we meet different people. We've met people like royalty.
When I leave school, I'd love to study veterinary, and I think the animals are such, I find them inspirational. They're just amazing.
I'm going on to hopefully getting into sixth form at North School to go on to get more qualifications, then go on to an apprenticeship after that.
Chipping Campden School has really embraced the applied learning agenda because we know that there is no one path for young people, that they're all very different and they're going to have different routes to achieve their potential. We offer environmental land-based science GCSE, which is another element to our curriculum. We endeavour to find as many pathways that will engage young people as possible.
Yeah, those smaller ones, because they'll go in order up the body until I get big enough. That's probably about the biggest one in there, and then they'll go slightly smaller up to the thorax.
Well, the idea of today's project is that we're using willow that's been grown at Chipping Campden, and we're using that to create sculptures. So we're doing a cross-curricular project where we're joining art and science together in order to make pieces that respond to our local environment. So we're making insects out of willow that will then hopefully hang up in the gardens around the school.
This is the head for the dragonfly. It's just basically consisting of 4 circles all put together, and it will go on the front of the dragonfly once it's done. It's good because you can kind of apply your learning skills that you learn in class to outdoors, and you can kind of put it all together, and it's nice to actually see a piece of work that's you could be proud of, like when you see it out and other people can see it as well.
We'll sort of attach them, and the wings and the head will attach to that central body, so that's got to be the strongest bit. The rural dimension gives us the opportunity to experiment in different materials, to work maybe on a larger scale than we could afford to if we had to buy the materials, but it also gives them ownership of the work that they create, because they know it's been grown and by fellow students and then created by them and displayed in their own setting.
We've got 6 piglets out, which just went off to the abattoir last week. There are a number of courses which can be run in schools which have applications to the countryside. The obvious ones are GCSE in Environmental and Land-Based Science, which OCR runs. There's a new qualification which we're running here at Chipping Campden, which is a diploma in ELBS, which is Environmental and Land-Based Studies. It's equivalent of either 5 or 7 GCSE, so it's fairly major qualification. And we use their interest in the environment and in farming and in wildlife as a vehicle for moving through the rest of their education. So they'll do their English and maths and ICT and functional skills through that.
Sit. Good boy.
The Rural Dimension can allow students to increase their motivation, develop team building, confidence skills, and to really realise they can achieve.
Sport and the Rural Dimension at the North School are very closely related. We've worked hand in hand over the years to develop new and exciting opportunities for students in the school. We've now offer activities such as climbing.
So we're going to blindfold you, Jack, and you two have got to guide him. You've got to tell him where to put his feet and help him get out of the wall, okay? And we're going to see how this affects you. So we'll blindfold you first. Really good, actually. Okay? We're looking at how it affects them climbing blindfolded, so being visually impaired.
Go up a little bit, Jack. With your right hand, if you stretch, there's the yellow. And then put your right foot near your knee, there's a hole.
The teamwork that they're having to practice, guiding each other and working together, I think it's invaluable really, and it can be used all across the school. You're
halfway.
Yeah, nearly halfway, Charlie. Very good, Jack.
Tell me, what have you just done?
Climbed up the rock wall blindfolded.
How did you do that?
Help by just listening to what they say and moving my feet and arms to where they told me to. And there we go. Because it won't go any further. By the brakes, you're going to clean around here. Look. Oh, no.
The bike workshops were organised last year at Key Stage 3. We organised 3 days of workshops where students would learn the basic repairing procedures of punctures and brakes and so on. The students that showed ability within the cycle maintenance then went on to complete 2 further days with the aim of building 5 bikes out of recycled bike parts, which were then donated to local primary schools.
We just testing the brakes, see if they're good enough, and taking the front wheel off. Yeah, to clean the front wheel and stuff like that.
Since we started the Rural Dimension in Chipping Campden, we've noticed that lots of people have become aware of this, more aware of the school than they were before. We've got more of a liaison with the local community. They buy the produce from here and sausages from our pigs and all that type of thing.
The Rural Dimension provides us opportunities for enterprise, which we try and maximise really. We try and make some money to run the courses, but also so that the kids can get the experience of running little businesses.
We have people who live in Chipping Campden, like the lady who owns this part, and who give their time and their property freely for the children to take part in the Rural Dimensions part of the curriculum.
Go in and see if there's any eggs. This is the best bit of the day, isn't it? I'll move that for you. Great. That's it. Who's going to collect the eggs?
There's a constant stream of children coming over, which is convenient for them. I'm just alongside the school, so they can pop along through the gate to feed the animals and collect the eggs every day. So how many have you got?
2 boxes and 4 extras. That's 12, 13, 14, 16 eggs altogether. 16. That's pretty good.
Yeah, very good. I think they'd absolutely love coming to their own little place where they've got responsibilities and just away from being in a house and a computer and just, you know, dealing with nature, if you like.
The community, in terms of Rural Dimension, I would see as being how everybody who's living in an area can work successfully together. We all have mutual interests, and in terms of community for the Rural Dimension, we're trying to pull these together and make them work as a whole.
As far as I'm concerned, if students can develop a love of the countryside, a love of being outdoors, a love of working with animals, they actually then develop into better citizens because they take on those personal responsibilities about valuing each other. For other head teachers, I would say the rural dimension is really important because it encourages teachers and students to get outside of the classroom, and that's it in a nutshell. It isn't necessarily about having a school farm on your site, having animals on your school site. It's about using the school site in a slightly different way to enable students to come outside of the buildings, look and see, and actually learn from doing in the outside environment.
There's potential in every human being, and as teachers what we're trying to do is to maximise that, and not only in terms of their educational potential and the achievements which they can make in an academic sense, but also in their whole person, their character, who they've become. They say don't work with children and animals. I love working with children and animals. It's absolutely brilliant. It's to get the opportunity to be outside and working with living things and seeing the pupils develop as in response to the responsibility which you give them. It's truly inspiring. It's a very exciting thing to be involved with. I don't tell the staff this, but if they weren't paying me, I'd do this for nothing. So.